Hey class, this next video is to help you review for the Chapter 3 summative celebration. We're going to have the precision standard. So here we have to solve for the product or quotient, simplify if needed, and show all our work. So we have 1/2 divided by 1/3. I'm going to rewrite that problem right away. 1/2 divided by 1/3. I like to write it vertically. Helps me lay things out a little bit easier. Then we are going to multiply by the reciprocal of the divisor, because based on the multiplicative inverse property, when you multiply by the reciprocal of a number, that product equals 1. That's powerful for dividing by fractions, because anything divided by 1 is itself. So getting the denominator or the divisor to be 1, again, really helps you, because then you don't have to worry about the divisor. Now you just have to focus on the numerator, right? But whatever you do to the denominator, which was multiplied by 3/1, you have to do the same thing to the numerator to keep the equation balanced. Because if you don't, you lose all the balance in the equation. And then you're not really dividing 1/2 by 1/3. But if we do the exact same thing to the numerator, we are following that process and keeping things balanced. So 1/2 multiplied by 3/1 would equal 3/2, which I could rewrite as 1 1/2, because there's 1 whole, 2/2, plus 1 and 3/2. So that's 1/2 divided by 1/3. Right? Let's try and multiplying one. 12 multiplied by 2/3. Now multiplying, we can just multiply straight across. But we want to make sure that each part is a fraction. 12, it doesn't equal 12/12, so it equals 12/1. So you have to put 12/1. Now you can multiply straight across. So 12 times 2 is 24, and 1 times 3 is 3, and then you can simplify. 24 divided by 3 is equal to 8. Okay. Now, another way that I could have done that problem, let me write it up here at the top. Still multiplying the same thing, obviously, but I had an opportunity to simplify earlier. If I look at the common factors that 12 and 3 have, they have 3 as a common factor, which means I can divide them earlier and simplify them earlier rather than at the end. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 12 divided by 3 is 4, so I can change those right away. So 4 times 2 is 8, and then now you just have 8/1. So 2 ways to solve that problem. Both are good. Make sure you have the way that works well for you. Alright, so let's take a look at mixed numbers. So multiplying those mixed numbers, 2 3/4 multiplied by 2 1/3. Again, a couple ways to do this problem. Here's the first way. Improper fractions, 11/4, because 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 equals 11, bottom times the side plus the top, because we have 2 wholes, 4 parts in the whole, so that would be 8/4 plus 3/4 is 11/4, multiplied by 3 times 2, so 2 wholes, so that would be 6/3 plus 1 is 7/3. Okay, now we multiply. So that would be 77/12, which then you would have to divide. So 77 divided by 12, you'd have 6 wholes, because 12 times 6 is 72, and then you'd have 5 left over, 5/12. Okay. So that's one way to solve this problem. Another way is by using partial products. So I have 2 3/4 multiplied by 2 1/3. So we multiply the parts each part by the other counterpart and then add things together. So 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 fourths, that would be equal to 6 fourths. 2 over 1 times 3 is 6 fourths. But I can simplify that to 1 and 2 fourths, or 1 and 1/2. So I'm going to write that in there, 1 and 1/2. And then 2 multiplied by 1/3 is 2/3. And then 1/3 multiplied by 3/4 is equal to 3 twelfths. We'll have 3 twelfths there. Okay, now I just have to add things together. So I have 4 plus 1 and 1/2 plus 2/3 plus 3 twelfths, and 3 twelfths I'm going to simplify down to, actually I'm going to leave it the same. I could simplify it to 1/4, but I'm just going to leave it there for now. So I can add my whole numbers together, so that'd be 5 plus 1/2 plus 2/3 plus 3 twelfths. I need common denominators. So 1/2 would be the same as 6 twelfths. 2/3 in twelfths, if I multiply both the numerator and denominator by 4 over 4, would be 8 twelfths. And then plus 3 twelfths. So now if I add all the fraction pieces, I would have 5 plus 6 plus 8 is 14, plus 3 is 17 twelfths. So I have another whole there, so that would be 6 and 5 twelfths. Okay. Alright, and then lastly, the division problem here. 3 and 3/7 divided by 1 and 3/5. Again, we want improper fractions when we're dividing fractions. So we'd have 24/7. And I should have said improper fractions when we're dividing mixed numbers, because you can keep fractions as fractions. I don't want to confuse you. So 1 and 3/5 would be 8/5 as an improper fraction. So again, multiply by the reciprocal, which is 5 over 8. That equals 1 in the denominator. Now you can kind of forget about it, because anything divided by 1 is itself. So they multiply by 5/8. Here we have an opportunity to simplify. 24 and 8 have 8 as a common factor. So 8 divided by 8 is 1. 24 divided by 8 is 3. And now we have 3 times 5 over 7 times 1. So we have 15/7. And 15/7, I know I'm running out of room here. I'm going to make a new page. Make a new page here. 15/7 would equal 2 wholes, because 7/7 plus 7/7 is 14/7. And then you have one more left, so that's going to be 2 and 1/7. And that was your quotient. So 2 and 1/7. Right? So that's some review on some of those skills, multiplying and dividing fractions and mixed numbers. Thanks for watching. Study hard. Get prepared.